All right, just to make sure we are all on the same page, I'm going to go over how to use these string commands again in a video so it is documented. You can watch it, you can rewatch it, you can do what you will. In here, I have one variable. It's a combination of first name, John, Ben, Grant, respectively, last name, Jingle, Stenhaug, Hill, respectively, and then call it the player number, so 12, 33, and 2012, respectively. And we want to get in this habit of thinking about how our data should be structured before we do analysis. Because if we can get the structure of the data correct, then all of the analysis and all of the manipulation becomes very easy. And so thinking about this, it's pretty clear that if you think about it, that this should be three variables. This should be first name, then this should be last name, and this should be number. So we should have three new columns here that we're going to try to create. First, we'll make the first name column. And so I'm going to walk you through the logic of these string commands. Whenever we want to create a new variable, I'm going to call it, or I'm going to go to transform and then compute variable. And let's just call this one first name. Then I'm going to click here and make sure we want this to be a string. 8 characters looks long enough. I could boost it up if I thought maybe my result was going to be longer than 8 characters. And then they have these function groups, and so within each of these is a variety of different functions. I know I'm going to be working with strings, and we had some familiarity last time taking a look at this. And so I'm going to be looking at substrings. And so we're going to use this character substring with the 3 commands. You can read this, and it basically says, what's your string expression? What's the variable you're going to put in? So we can start to put in, what am I starting with? Well, I'm going to start with that variable first, last, num, which is the first column. And then it's comma pos, POS. And if you read down in here, position is the beginning position. So imagine these being numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each character, any symbol, if it's a letter, a slash, whatever, is numbered starting on the far left with a 1, going to the right. And so for the first name, I'm always going to start at 1. So 1, 1, 1. Always going to start at 1 there. Now, and this is what I was explaining, and it's tricky, is this question mark then is the length. So how long do I want this first name to go? If I put, let's say that I put a 5 here. So I'm going to start at 1 and I'm going to go 5 to the right of it. This would pick up JOHN and then the slash. Well, I don't want that. This would pick up BEN, the slash, and then the S. So the length, I don't want it always to be 5. And so in this case, I want the length to be 4 because there's 4 characters here, 3, and I want it to be 5. So somehow I need to tell the computer to calculate the length based on what this looks like. And so you want to think about what's a way that we can algorithmize, that came out funny, the computer into knowing where to go. And so what I'm going to say is, well, it's always go 1 before the slash. The slash is at the 5th character, so the length of the first name is 4. The slash is the 4th character, so the length of the first name is 3. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell the computer to look for to go into first, last, and then num, and it's called a haystack and a needle. That's confusing language, but basically I want it to look for that slash, and I want to go 1 before that slash. So what's hard when you're reading this is there's 2 functions in here, and this car index function is nested inside the car substring function. So the car substring function takes 3 arguments. First is the variable that you're going to work with. Second is the starting character position. So here it's 1 because I'm always starting at the beginning. And then the third thing is the length, but we need to tell the computer to calculate the length based on the values in these columns. And so I'm inputting a function to tell it to do that based on. So this function is the third argument, the length argument in this function. And so I'm saying car index. Remember, car index starts at the left. So it's going to find the first forward slash coming from the left. And it's going to subtract 1 off of it. And that should be the length. Let's try it. Let's see if it works. Cross your fingers. Yay! Woo-hoo. It worked. And so now what I want to do is I want to get the last name. Thankfully, it keeps that up there, so it might be useful. But I'm going to delete it just so it forces me to talk through the whole thing. So last name equals, and I'm going to do a substring, so I'm going to piece this thing apart. I'm going to start with that column, first underscore last underscore name. Now, how am I going to tell the computer where the last name starts? Remember, this first argument, the second argument in substring is where this character starts. So it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 1 plus wherever that slash is. So I want to go to this index, and I'm going to say, all right, the starting value should be first, last, underscore name. Find the slash, and then I'm going to need to add 1 to it because I want to start 1 to the right of wherever it finds that. And then what is the length? Well, the length, this is a little bit tricky. The length is going to be, where is this second slash minus where is this first slash? So the length of jingle here is 6. How can I calculate that? Well, I can tell the computer, find where the second slash is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And subtract off where this first slash is. Well, that's at 5. 12 minus 5 gives me 7. It's actually 6. So it's going to be like the difference in the slashes minus 1. Getting this middle thing is, I think, the most complicated. So if you want to find the position of the second, you do the exact same thing, but you do an R index. So here's the second. Minus what's the position of the first, and this is just an index, and then I thought I had to subtract 1 off. I'm hopeful. Remembering, so the difference between car R index and car index is car R index is going to look for the first forward slash coming from the right, but you might think then, oh, that's going to return 3, like 1, 2, 3. Nope. It's going to look for this one, but when it returns the number, it's always still starting from the left. So it's going to find this one, but it's still going to give it whatever that is, 12 or something, character from the left. And so let's try this on for size. I'm not entirely sure. This is a little bit complicated, especially this length thing is especially complicated. So there's a few things I could see going wrong, but incorrect variable name. First, I did first, last, underscore name. These are all nums. Oops. Won't edit me. Okay. First, underscore, last, underscore, num. So now I'm pulling the computer close to me. I'm trying to figure out, did I misspell something? This is the beauty. Is it not car R index? Is it like I just typed in the car R index? Looks like that's right. Are we running into space issues? Maybe it's this length. Maybe I don't need that to be 12. Incorrect variable name. Maybe you're watching this, you're thinking, I know what's going on. First underscore last underscore num space. Oh, I missed it right here. Silly me. Now we should be good. And so, okay, perfect. That worked. Now for the last one, I'm trying to find this number. Now I'm still going to use the car substring. This time, you might notice that the difference between the two, like in brackets here is this length, which tells you it's optional. So I can just, we've been inputting 3 arguments to this character substring, but I can, and they've been, what variable do I use? It's always been first underscore last underscore num. I screwed that up last time. The second has been the starting character. And then the third has been the length. But if I don't provide a length, it's just going to go till the end of the string. So if I tell it to start at the 10th character, it'll just start at the 10th character and then go to the right and return the rest of the string. And so how do I want to get the number? I need to find this second slash, the right slash here, and I need to add 1 to that, and then give me the rest of it, and that will give me the number. So let's go grab that car R index. First underscore last underscore num. Slash. And then add 1. Hit OK. And I got number. Woohoo. I misspelled it. I don't know what that end's doing there. My bad. But hopefully that walkthrough helped you with these string commands, because I know that they sure can be tricky.